What is up with y'all boys? Today is Monday, May 6th, 2024. It was a little bit choppy, but we came through. We got a clean move. Today was a no news Monday, so I'm going to go right in here. Today and tomorrow and the day after, there's no news. So this week, I'm not going to lie, bro. It's going to be a little bit choppy. And then the next week after that, we got PPI, we got CPI on Wednesday. Not going to be trading on those days. And then what is this? On Friday, we have Treasury Currency Report. Bro, what the fuck even is it? Tentative. Bro, if I get caught on Friday in a trade and it randomly wicks me out, I'm going to get it. But with the daily chart going into today, the past 2 days, they've rocketed. We're switching back to a bullish trend on the high time frame. But going in at the very beginning of the day in the high time frame, we were pushing into a 4 hour, I'm going to mark it like this, 4 hour bearish for value gap, although it's a giant gap like there. And then on the S&P, it had already pretty much filled this in, low-key. So I'm going to get this out of the way real quick so it's not cluttering. This is today's price action starting right here. I'm going to go on the 1 hour chart real quick, but today, no news Monday. It's a little bit ambiguous. It was in a bullish trend, and that's what my bias just was, a bullish trend. But I needed a pretty good setup to actually trade. I did not really want to trade today, but if the market gives me something, I'm gonna take it. This is the 1 hourly chart right here. This is a 4 hour fair value gap, 4 hour fair value gap. And as far as the bearish side, there isn't really any liquidity targets. This is 11 o'clock central time right here. So excluding all of this, because this is, I just got home from school and I'm doing this, but this was the price action going in. It looks pretty balanced, in my opinion. The only thing is the S&P has some fair value gaps down here, stuff like that. But overall, I didn't really see too much of a reason for this thing to draw bearish. And that's why I was bullish on the day. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you all the trade real quick. This was at about 10 o'clock. Swept this morning's lows, swept into a 1 hour fair value gap. The S&P tapped into a 30-minute fair value gap, filled it, and I aimed for these highs up here. It was kind of a low resistance liquidity run up at this point. There was this, and this. Like I said, though, it was a little bit choppy today. The only weird thing, it was decently correlated up until I took the trade, but there was an SMT right here, so that's something to watch out for as far as it turning around and going bearish, because on the very high time frame, I think it's going to start retracing soon. But since this SMT and then it ended up sweeping, I'm like, all right, well, now it's happening to decently high time frame for value gaps, and we've got liquidity targets. So that's that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I would not have been terribly surprised if price, hold up, I'm gonna get my marker out real quick. Oh, good. Yeah, brush. I would not be terribly surprised if price had gone and went a little bit lower right into here and then came back up. But on the 15-minute, this is balanced price right in here. There's nothing here. 10-minute, we're chilling. 5-minute, we're chilling. So right here, and also this is equilibrium almost perfectly. This low right here that it swept, that was equilibrium. And same thing, I'm pretty sure on the S&P. Yeah, hit equilibrium, tapped into the FVG, swept this morning's lows, and I wouldn't have entered this trade since it is a no news Monday and it's kind of choppy. Price is a little bit weird. I wouldn't have entered this trade if it didn't react the way it did. So because of it reacting off of the FVG like this, I'll delete this for a second. It came up and created this fair value gap right here, made a low, kept shooting up, and then it came back, tapped into it a bit, and then it came back and swept the low that was in the fair value gap. So this was a turtle soup entry, and I'll put on my executions real quick. These are my executions. I entered in at about 91. My stop loss was down here, and I aimed all the way up here. I took the rest off up here, like I said. Right after I entered the trade, if you look at this, like right in this area, I'll mark out the exact same spot on the S&P. The S&P was starting to make lower lows right here, and it just started kind of losing correlation. I'm not surprised. It's a Monday, but this was a pretty good setup. And the reason I targeted all these, there's a ton of stacked highs right here. So it tapping into this fair value gap on both things and then reacting the way it did, turtle soup, I knew it was just going to go and manipulate down here. I do not know if this thing is going to turn around anytime soon. Like I said, this is on the, oh shoot, I zoomed all the way out. It's in a daily fair value gap right now. And if I go to the 4 hour, it's in this giant 4 hour fair value gap. The S&P's already filled it, and this thing has just been rallying the past couple of days. So I don't know when it is going to turn around from there. I think it might go back, tap into this area right here, something like that, and then keep going up. I don't know if it's going to go all the way down to these, but yeah, like I said, cheeky little dub today. There's actually kind of too long, so I did say I wouldn't be surprised if it went lower, and it actually did end up going lower right after here. The NASDAQ took this high, and the S&P did not, so it ended up SMTing right here, and then it pushed down lower. And at this point in time, it had actually formed a 2 hour fair value gap, so I'm going to delete these real quick. Now, I was trading at 10 o'clock, and later on it ended up forming this, so I guess there were two long setups, but this box down here, this is just a 2 hour fair value gap. Tapped into it again, and it kept going even higher. Now, I don't know when this thing's going to retrace, but that was a pretty good setup. Got like $279 from that. I took a lot of partials. I took one. I wasn't looking at my screen when it came up right here. I was going to take one partial at halfway, but I had to wait for that. If it had turned around, I would have been kind of annoyed, but one partial right here, small one, another one right here, and then I just took all the rest of it off right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. De-risked a little bit. There's a decent setup on a Monday. I don't know if tomorrow's price action is going to be too good, or Wednesday, honestly. This thing is just, dude, the news for this week is just naked. There's like nothing here. I wouldn't be surprised if it just chopped, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. That's the move I caught. It was a pretty decent move, given the conditions. It started chopping a lot, so I started taking partials. I was going to take them anyway, just because it was a no news Monday. But yeah, I mean, decent trade for what it was. And that you could have got in a little bit later, although I don't think I would have got in right here, because after this thing did end up sweeping these, it created a 15-minute fair value gap right here. So if it went down after that, I wouldn't have been surprised, and it just had this SMT as the high and started going lower from there, like down here, whatever it is. Dude, that looks retarded, but yeah, I don't know. If I take a trade tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. I'll do a little recap. Fuck, bro, why am I still drawing? Tomorrow's actually my last day of school, so, dude, senior year's over, bro. I'm ready to graduate. We're going to be trading all summer. It's going to be chill. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I will see y'all boys.